Welcome again to another iteration of your favorite podcast, the /FaceRoll Happy Hour that can also be powerful and moving.
Moving?
Power hour.
Yeah, like
moving.
Or
powerful?
Well, like powerfully moving. Like it moves you like a film would.
It's like an MLK speech.
Right. Yeah. Where there's dreams and they're wet.
I get what you're saying by moving. Was that a good word to use?
Yeah, moving like it'll actually move your life in a positive direction the more you listen.
All right. I'll give it to you.
Okay. So, I think CES just concluded yesterday, I believe, or maybe it's still going on. But so we're going to spend our time today talking about it, and we have somebody who is the man who introduced myself and our producer, P. Billy Combs, to LAN gaming, our uncle, Kuren Charles. It's good to have you on.
Hello.
So he attended CES for business purposes, but I'm sure you can still have fun at something like that. So if you could just tell us what it was like, what you did, and some of the, I don't know, maybe just some of the things that you saw. We'll go ahead and figure the rest out.
Yeah. So this is the first year that I actually went for their business. I've been there a few times personally, and I went to check out the Ford exhibit first. And Ford had a neat announcement this year where they have a smart dashboard for their cars they're coming out with that will allow drivers to voice control apps on their phone, such as Rhapsody, which is the company I work for, or Glimpse, or any app that Ford gets developed to work with their car, which was a kind of a neat thing. I also got to see the big news at CES seemed to be all around televisions. The new 4K resolution TVs and new OLED vibrant televisions. So I made my way over to the Samsung booth, which was amazingly huge and just packed with people. And I squeezed through the crowd to find the 4K television, or I'm sorry, the OLED television. And this guy next to me was like, "I wonder if that's 4K or if that's 1080p." And I said to him, nobody's going to have both a 4K and an OLED TV. And so he said, "No, Sony does." So I was like blown away. So I made my way over to the Sony booth, which was just as huge and crowded. And they had this 4K OLED TV, which was just amazing to look at. And I did the math, and it's only like 90 PPI, which the Retina display iPads are up around 300 or something, but still you could not see the pixels on this television. It was so amazing. I made my way past the NVIDIA booth, which had an actual Tesla car sitting in their booth. The new electric car that has a side a portrait oriented 17-inch TV in the car as the center console, and that's why NVIDIA had it, because they were the display of what runs the car, and that was just amazing to see. And I went by the Intel booth, and the Intel booth for me represented the state of CES this year, with Microsoft being missing and Apple's never there. What's left is what is new, and Intel they didn't seem to have anything new other than what they were really pushing was WiDi, where from your laptop or your phone you can display your TV, or you can transfer files to other devices. with white would be a good implementation. Would be you have a conference television at work, and you come in with your laptop, and you can just display what's on your laptop onto the conference TV wirelessly. And so they really pushed that as their new thing. Everything else in their booth it seemed like what was last year's technology.
Hey, our processors got faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, why aren't Microsoft and Apple usually there? Do you know? Is it because
Well,
they don't feel the need to prove themselves, or?
I think that's it. I know I've been there before the economy turned down in 2007 or whatever, and they had just enormous sized areas there before, and now that they what do they have to prove? Like you say, they have all the partners and business people that they need to meet with already.
Yeah.
So it's all just like a giveaway for them. And then I guess when the recession hit, they probably started saying, "Well, do we really need to do this?" And they just haven't really come back. They do have the new Surface, which I thought would have brought them back to CES to show off the new, Windows 8 Surface tablets and televisions, but I guess they left it up to other companies to show the Surfaces, which there were some there being displayed by other people trying to show off their stuff with it. So I guess they're just riding on coattails now.
Could it also be
Apple is never there because they have their own conference coming up in a week or two.
Oh yeah.
But their CES is still filled with Apple accessories and add-ons everywhere.
And that's just other companies making stuff for Apple.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Like you see Bluetooth speakers that fit the iPhone or iPod. You just put those in, and it seemed like every corner you turned on every aisle, there was another tiny little booth selling covers and holders.
Yeah.
So they're still getting represented pretty decently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to buy something Apple to use any of the products you're seeing
Yeah.
at CES. So. Makes sense.
Yeah, I also made my way to the South Hall, which had it had this really cool. I should have looked up who they were because it was so cool that I don't remember who they were. But they sold earbuds, and they had this band there that they had a singer, a flute player, a guitar, and a drummer.
Sounds like Jethro Tull.
And they were all playing on like silent instruments. Like the guitar was just an electronic guitar, and the flute was like a electronic flute, and you couldn't really hear what the heck. You could hear the drummer beating against the pads, but you really couldn't hear it. So you had to wear the earphones to hear it all mixed together. And it was a really cool demo to show how something silent could come to life, and that was a neat.
that'd be
Yeah,
pretty,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Any
really
band can
interesting.
practice anywhere without disturbing their neighbors or whatnot.
This is kind of a tangent, but what were those things called? Were they called hit sticks? It was like you had the little speaker and you had the drumsticks and you'd hit it and it'd be like.
Oh yeah, like made like its own noises out of a
Yeah.
little speaker. Yeah, those are from.
I don't know why I just thought of that.
Yeah,
That was
those were
pretty
when we
much
were
all
like
I
10.
thought of when I.
That's what they had were one of those, but they didn't have a speaker hooked up.
Right, it goes
Just
with the
all
headphones.
wireless?
Yeah, that's great.
Damn.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else I saw. I stopped by Garmin and I saw GoPro. GoPro had a huge booth there, and they had all their videos, and they just came out with the Hero 3, and there's a new what is it called? The Parrot 2, which is this quadcopter remote control airplane, right? That you can control with your iPad or phone, and they had synchronized doing a demonstration with these quadcopters moving in and around themselves. It was really kind of cool to see.
Yeah, we actually were talking about that a couple podcasts ago. There's a guy called FPS Russia that always does a bunch of like military tech and stuff like that, and he had one of those quadcopters, and he actually mounted a little machine gun to the bottom of it, and was like talking about how this is like the next stage. You can just fly these anywhere, and he was like, the mobility on them is insane.
I feel like you showed me a video of those quadcopters before, where they did some whole like
those
synchronized dance.
the little
or
tiny
whatever.
ones, yeah.
Oh, are these just like bigger versions of the
I don't
tiny
know.
ones?
Yeah,
I don't know, 'cause
the one that he mounted the machine gun to was. I don't know about the ones. How big were the ones at CES?
Oh, Russia.
They could not hold a machine gun. they were just the $300 versions that
So
they
they were
had.
probably the little synchronized ones that flew in tandem.
Only $300 though. That's pretty. Like, I mean,
That's pretty good.
I
for
wouldn't
a
buy
wide-
one, but yeah, it's pretty
that
reasonable.
technology.
Yeah, I mean,
for
but-
how cool it is.
Well,
Yeah.
you see those viral videos all the time where like people are using those things. They break. They seem to break pretty easy. Just fuck up the landing and you're screwed.
Yeah.
It landed in your pool. Fuck. $300 gone.
Or just like that Robin Big where he's flying it and it just starts flying away.
Yeah. Probably would have been like more entertaining to just like burn the money.
Yeah.
Feel super rich for 5 minutes. I'm so rich. I'm just burning $300 bills.
Did you see any of the ginormous tablets they're coming out with by chance? Or
Does that are they? Can you even call it a tablet if it's ginormous?
The 20-inch one?
this one that I'm looking at right now is 13.3 inches. They call it the Arcos Family Pad. It's
I
only,
didn't-
Buy a fucking TV.
it's only $299 though.
That's
like,
more
it's-
of like
That's how much a
the-
32-inch TV costs from Vizio.
What's that tablet / laptop that came out? They called it like the Yoga or something. You
The
know
one
what
that
I'm
they
talking
have
about?
that pretty cool techno song for on TV.
I think so, but the commercial I always see is like some chick stole it and she's running away, and then
Oh,
she's
that
using
commercial
all
is
the different
stupid.
modes. Like you can stand it up, like they call it tent mode, and then you can lay it down like a laptop, or you can use it like a tablet.
I hate all those commercials I see, especially the ones where like they're like passing around the laptop and everybody's like okay with passing their laptop to
Yeah.
somebody else.
It's like, oh
And
yeah,
then
here's
it's
my
just like- then it's
$700
just gone.
device.
Yeah.
They just like whip it over to their buddy.
Yeah, I totally believe that this would happen in a college.
Tossing their brand new Alienware across the room.
Like, hey, oh, this is so much fun sharing this thing with everybody in the world.
But,
Stupid.
so yeah, Corinne, did you see
I walked by the Qualcomm booth, and they actually had a lot of neat devices in there, and one of them was it was like a Surface where the display would be under the glass, and it was meant for in your kitchen. So you have like a glass countertop in your
Yeah.
kitchen, and under part of it is the LCD and the the Qualcomm controlled touch tablet of the device. So, and I asked them, well, what would this be used for that you couldn't use a tablet for? And they were like, well, if you're cooking and you get a mess on, you don't want your fingers touching your tablet when you're all, you have cookie dough all over them. And with this, it would be just the countertop, and then you can just wipe the entire countertop off without having an edge.
That's pretty cool.
Or you could just
Yeah,
use it to
it
watch
looks pretty
Netflix
neat.
while you're making dinner.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I would use it for.
Yeah, I was thinking about those 20-inch tablets, and they're like, for like a kitchen counter or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck do you need a tablet on your kitchen counter for? Like maybe recipes or something? But
Maybe.
like the family's in there, like, here's the weather. Like for the day. No, I mean, like, it's cool, but I was just
I feel
thinking, like, how practical is it?
I feel like
really,
they
right now?
often
Like,
miss the mark, and they just try to show you all the neat shit it can do, not the practical uses.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're always just like, oh, look at all this cool things you can do with
Yeah.
this. Like that's great, but I have a TV
Yeah.
in the living
Like-
room to do this.
Yeah. Do you
They're just like, oh, now if you're like making a big holiday meal and you can actually not be bored in the kitchen by yourself. Oh, okay, that's actually kind of a practical use,
Yeah.
but they never like try to explain other practical use for it. They're just like, oh, you're cooking. Here's some recipes.
Yeah.
Well, I also have like, I've been alive long enough to have like massive amounts of recipe books too that I
Yeah.
don't mind getting cookie dough on. You know what I mean? Like, so
It reminds me of like the when they came out with the refrigerators with screens in them, and it
That
was
was
like,
pointless.
look, you can draw a little doodle on there before you go to work, and it was like,
Yay.
oh really? Because I'm an adult.
There was a picture on Chive of one of those that like you can get all your apps and shit on that little screen. And there was one set up in a Best Buy. Somebody took a picture of it, and they have like Twitter and Facebook. and somebody had opened up the Twitter and said, "Why does my refrigerator need fucking Twitter?"
Exactly.
Well, I can understand having like when they first started getting into the whole like LCD screen thing, they put like the LCD display for your, instead of having an actual button that you had to press for your ice, you could like just select it on this LCD screen. It's like, oh, that's kind of neat, but I don't mind pushing my cup against a little lever to get my ice. So it's like, okay, that's kind of, but that's just one of those things where it's like, that's just kind of neat. Like I don't need to know the temperature inside my fridge. I don't know what temperature it's supposed to be. So knowing that it's like 35 degrees in my fridge, and what does that mean?
I don't know what to do with this information, but
I mean, maybe if it was like connected to like cable, or I mean, I guess you could easily plug like an HDMI cable into something and watch it. But I mean, like, I just can't see myself like spending like hours like just looking at this counter. It's like, it's like, all right, I can be doing my things and maybe like catching something on TV at the same time.
Well, that's why
like,
it'd be cool if you could like raise it up, like so you could like it's in your counter. So if you're like cooking, you can like just push it down so you can look at it, or so you can kind of adjust the view, maybe twist it a little. But I feel like shit's just gonna get in the sides because it's probably not gonna be like a nice perfect fit, and then you're just gonna get like meat juices leaking down the side into your freaking.
I don't like it. I don't like the idea. I do, but I don't.
Yeah.
The meat pad. Yes.
I mean, I don't feel like there's much advancement for kitchen technology that's gone past those little TVs that you used to hook up underneath your cabinet next to your sink. So you could watch like basic, ABC, NBC on this like 8-inch screen next to the sink. I feel like it hasn't really advanced.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Point.
It's like if that's what it was being used for, then it would be like useful. It's like, holy shit, it's just a really thin fucking TV that would replace the one. Maybe I put it right on my counter backsplash.
How about a tablet that makes my fucking cookies? Add ingredients, makes cookies. Oh yeah, I'm all for that. Yeah, and then it'd be like a 3D printer. That's a sick idea. It'd be a 3D printer. You're just like, all right, here's the recipe, and then you just like give it a bunch of the spices and everything, and you just walk away. It makes your fucking dinner.
All right, what else we got to talk about here? Anything else fun you want to bring up, Kuren? Just off the top of your head.
I don't know. It seems like CES has turned into a lot of companies get their own hotel room and just meet privately. So it's
almost more of like
not as much.
It's just like private meetings, like just a common
but
time.
it's more of just like
not even at CES. They just get a hotel room somewhere across the strip. Like Pebble, at least they got a hotel room, but they weren't in the main central hall. And the Pebble is at eWatch.
So you're saying like they're just like, oh, well, rather than paying to get into the main convention center, I'll just go grab a hotel room somewhere and put up a little sign or put up on my Facebook or Twitter like, hey, room 450 in the Mandalay Bay Hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, it's not a bad idea, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds like. I mean, I wouldn't also be surprised to find out if most of them just use it to meet other.
Yeah, is it more like a networking thing? Is that why it's smaller companies?
Yeah. A lot of companies, like our company, we don't really need to tell people about Rhapsody. We need other companies to tell people
that they need Rhapsody.
We just need to make partnership meetings with like Ford and find out who we need to contact in each company and just make business to business relationships. We don't need to put out $1 million just for some P&R.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you have the product. You just need somebody to start picking it up. Well, more people to start picking it up. Gotcha.
Now I heard NVIDIA made a handheld device, or like not a handheld device, like a handheld console or a gaming device.
Project Shield.
Project Shield?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, God, that's what it's called. I actually got some specs on that thing.
Sounds like it should be an operation in Iraq.
Or something headed by Nick Fury.
Okay, I'll give you that one too. Yeah, that's a little more, I guess, on the nerdy side of us. What are the specs on that?
That thing, they're coming out with this new processor that is apparently supposed to be the fastest thing on the market. It is got a 5-inch high-def display with a 720p, and also has an HDMI port, micro USB, and a micro SD for expandable storage and accessories and shite.
There we go. Is it actually like gaming handheld? or
Yeah,
is
it's actually
'cause I
pretty
heard
cool.
it like
if you,
streams
if
from.
you look it up if you Google search it, it's pretty much a controller with a flip-up display.
Now, is it basically just going to be a Wii U? Like,
No, well,
are they going to have? I mean,
in the sense, but I guess you could with what it has, you could hook it up to your TV. But I think a lot of the demos that they had, they were playing like one of the pictures I saw, they were playing Need for Speed on it. You can hook it up to your TV. The 5-inch high def display was really great. It looked awesome, but it pretty much looks like a black Xbox controller with a 5-inch flip up screen on it.
So it looks like, I don't know, it allows for streaming of games running on a compatible desktop PC, so you can like stream your PC games to it.
Yeah.
oh, so I could.
Yeah,
Wow.
So you could play like
Google image it.
Battlefield or
Yeah.
something from your computer onto it.
Yeah.
That's pretty legit.
Pretty sick. I always just love to see like some of the crazy shit that they come out with, and then what's even better though is the modding that happens after that, where they're like, "Oh, this is really cool. I'm gonna hook it up to my mouse and keyboard now."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, now that we have a picture that pulled up, Xbox controller with a 5-inch screen is a perfect description
Yeah,
of it.
that's exactly what it is.
Wow, are they allowed to put the buttons in that? Well, I guess they've even got the same colors. Are they allowed to do that? X is where X is, Y is where Y is, B is where B is, A is where A is.
It's even got a command button in the center.
Huh.
Yeah, but
pretty-
didn't
it's
but
pretty
didn't
close.
Mike?
I
guess you can't
Isn't the
copyright
only
look and
difference?
feel.
Well, isn't the only difference between the Xbox the Xbox setup that they switched X, Y, A, and B from the Super Nintendo? So
Yeah,
they
pretty
can,
much.
Yeah. So if Microsoft wants to, they can eat a dick.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not like the Xbox controller. We have a big fucking screen in the middle of it. What are you talking about?
They are nothing similar.
I guess like the big crowning achievement for this thing is that, like I said, they made like the fastest processor, which is trumping whatever generation iPad processor is out now. I think it's like the A6X or. So that is like their big thing for this thing is that it's 4G LTE compatible. It's supposed to be integrated with everything. So.
I don't think it's going to do any better than the PS Vita has done.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, I don't think people want that kind of thing. Like I said, it's really neat and it's cool, but if I have a phone that can pretty much play games that look really good, I'll just use my phone. And if I'm somewhere in my house and that has a controller, I'll play my Xbox or my PS3 or my PC.
I think the big clincher is going to be the price. If you can get that thing under $200, then it's going to sell.
Well, even still though, I wouldn't drop $100 on the thing. It'd be cool.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. But
it would be
people
cool.
will though.
But again, I have a feeling what people are going to start doing is taking the screen off and then just having like a mini HDMI connection, so you can just use the display on your phone or something like that. They'll find a way. Granted, it's an HDMI out, I know, but they'll find a way.
Yeah.
They'll create an app that allows you to do it.
So, Kuren, you were mentioning the fact that people just get hotel rooms and like have all these like backdoor meetings. Like, so when you weren't on the floor, like, are there tales of like craziness with like tech developers, like in casinos and things like that you can share? Because it sounds like it's like, yeah, we did the whole convention thing. Now let's go drink and gamble.
Yeah,
Why do you think they do it in Vegas?
Let's see. I got to be careful not to name names, but yeah, these
You can name
companies
drop
they
here.
have meetings that go into the night. That it's like meet for drinks with this company, and I after I was done with CES the first day, I went and played poker, and I didn't really participate in any of the parties that some of these companies were hosting, just open parties. But in the morning when I got in the the shuttle, I was hearing stories from the other people. It was I'll just leave it to your imagination. Just drinking till 4 a.m. and just craziness.
Yeah, I definitely think that if I had the kind of money to blow that, yeah, I would throw a huge blowout party like that at CES. Why the fuck not? Hey, here's our product, and we throw kick-ass parties. Why wouldn't you buy our product?
Yeah.
You guys are pretty close to Boston. Have you been to PAX?
Actually,
Penny Arcade Expo.
We're
funny
actually
story.
trying to
we
get-
actually put in for 3 media passes, so we're really hoping that we can bring some 3 days worth of podcasts each night that it's over. We're really
Sweet.
hoping. So, but if not, then maybe we'll still make an appearance and just pay for our tickets.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
normal
if
Americans.
Boston is anything like Seattle, some of the companies there will hand out private tickets to open bar parties and
Open bar parties. Wow.
make some contacts and try to find out where the parties are, because you got to schmooze and ask, and but they're there and they're wild from what I hear.
Wow. This
Well,
may be
anytime-
possibly the
yeah,
most epic 3
I
days
think
of our
anytime
lives.
like gamers get together and drink, it's probably going to be pretty awesome.
Fact.
Everybody's just so chill in the gaming
Yeah.
community.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I imagine if
Or
a bunch of
super
gamers
competitive.
get together and start drinking, depending on what era of gamer, they're just going to end up bitching about the same things they always do. It's like, man, 2 headshots. Seriously, 2 headshots. It's like, really? This is what we've devolved into, talking about how many headshots it took to kill a guy?
Or it just turns into an epic video game tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Way better.
Yeah, the likes of which MLG has never seen. Or well, actually, they're pretty popular. So
Wait, drinking at MLG is pretty
no,
popular?
no. I'm just saying
Should be.
MLG is really super popular. No, I think it should be like they should have the adult MLG tournaments where you do games that you've never played before.
I think we should not
And
use
you
the
get
term
hammered.
adult MLG, because I think it'd probably be better to like rebrand it a little bit.
Well,
differently.
you're right. You're right. But I'm saying you could say mature.
Eh,
Anyways, what would be awesome? It's games that they've never played before, and they have to get super smashed. They have to like rip shots every time they get a kill on a game they've never played before. That would be awesome. Oh, never mind. It's destroyed because everybody vomited on the consoles. It's like, oh, well, you have to go with whoever vomited least. Oh, man. What is this, Powers?
It's just well, I wanted to talk about the other handheld console. Kuren, did you see any of the new handheld consoles? Or
I didn't. I saw. Yeah, no, I didn't.
all right, I won't make you go off on that. All right, yeah, I'm looking at apparently what won, and I believe it was Best in Show was the
Great movie.
was the Razer Edge gaming tablet. It's made by Razer, of course, a pretty prominent gaming company with controllers and mice and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they have a new tablet that has add-ons, like little control sticks or whatever that you can put onto it, and it plays legit games.
Yeah, see, that's where I can see a huge, where if NVIDIA had made this controller and really all you have to do is like plug it into your micro USB and to get the display, because I'm sure this thing's USB 3.0 by now and it can stream video, you put it on there, that makes a lot more sense to me than like its own individual handheld console from NVIDIA.
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
it's
that's
like
the
a
kinda thing.
tablet, and then you can also use it for gaming.
Yeah,
with
you
these
can
little
just
add-ons.
plug
Right, 'cause- yeah.
two like things on the side that give you the 2 sides of the controller.
Right. That makes more sense to me. You were talking earlier about the Pebble. What is that? Kuren.
The Pebble, yes, it's the Kickstarter watch that was a sensation for Kickstarter last year. They were trying to raise $100,000, and I just looked up the number. They raised $10 million. And,
Holy shit!
which is- it's a little. I'd call that a success.
Yeah.
But they're an open source e-ink watch that is Bluetooth that will show you as a clock. But if you get like a message on your phone or a call, you can answer the call or look at the message on your watch. And they were at CES in one of the side hotels.
The sketchy room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they only had $10 million to put on a show. And
Yeah, I know, seriously.
It's not that much.
Can you tell us what e-ink is, if that's anything special? I've never heard of it.
Oh yeah. So e-ink is what the Kindle and the Sony Reader and all these e-ink books are made of. As opposed to LCD, it actually has a pixel that rotates. It's either white on one side or black on the other. So when it shows the screen, it doesn't take any energy to keep the image up because it's literally a physical twisted pixel.
Now,
That's
is it
crazy.
is it like in color? It's not in color.
No, it's not in color.
Okay.
But
So is that mainly just to save the battery life and whatnot? Is that why they go that route, you think, or?
Well, I've seen examples of color e-ink, and they're not vibrant because and people who want color just get like the Kindle Fire, which is basically a full LCD tablet.
Yeah, I think
so they're probably not much of a market for the color.
Right. It's just more of a useful thing rather than something to look pretty. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen a Kindle when you turn the page, but it takes a tenth of a second to draw the whole page, which is really slow. But on this the Pebble, it seems like they have at least 20 frames per second. Is what it seemed like from the video. So it looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Nice.
And should be out in a month or two. I can't wait.
And that's compatible with everything, or just iPhones, or?
It'll be compatible with everything because it just goes through Bluetooth.
Oh, nice.
So anybody that writes an app can communicate with it, or it'll just be simply a Bluetooth display auxiliary to anything that, even I'm sure it would work with Windows because it's just a Bluetooth accessory.
Yeah. Very cool.
So I just had a great idea. We come up with a great idea we have no intention of building, make $10 million, and then we can actually build it. Because I feel like even with
if you make it sound cool enough,
right,
and they will come.
Because
it will cook your cookies.
Even if
oh shit, I'm going to invest.
How.
Then you have like $10 million. Like, how can you not think of some way to like cook cookies?
Right, actually make it
They already did
work.
it. It's an easy bake oven. Make it smaller.
What if you seriously just filled a whole bunch of chambers with like flour, salt, whatever, and then you just fucking press the button on whatever, and it just auto mixed everything, and then it's just good to go.
I'm sure what
Let's do it right now.
That's what you put it on Kickstarter. You say, "Oh, we only need $100,000," and it doesn't matter that we don't know how we're going to make it. $10 million, I'll figure out how to make it.
That's and then worst comes to worst. Isn't there some like thing in Kickstarter where if you fall through, it's like, well, you don't owe anyone shit.
Well, yeah, Kickstarter. I don't.
Yeah,
it's
see,
donations,
exactly.
Right?
So it's like, it's kind of like, oh, sorry, we couldn't figure out how to make cookies, self-making cookie maker or whatever. It's like, oh, okay. Damn, I'm out $1. I'm sure there's 10 million people out there who want homemade cookies without homemaking the cookies.
Yeah. I always thought if I could have 10 million people give me just $1, and now I know how. Kickstarter.
That's the way to do it.
That's my journey, is to see how many people will give me $1.
Yeah.
You just have to have a real good campaign. That's all.
Right.
You just
That's
spend
the
$1 million.
campaign. See how many people give you $1.
You just go to some guy who does that for their job, and you have him promote the shit out of you, and you're like, we'll cut you in at 10%. Bam.
Which, for anyone who went to public school, is $1 million.
No, it's $10,000.
10%?
Yeah.
10%.
10% of 10 million.
Is $1 million.
I went to public school.
Oh, okay, that's
right. So, no, but I mean, I think it's a great idea. I mean, you could make a career out of that.
Just kickstarting ideas.
Career out of farming Kickstarter.
I'm a Kickstarter.
What you do? What you do?
Yeah.
What you do is you create these ideas, and you bring in all this money, and then you actually find somebody who's willing to actually do it or take it over or buy the idea from you. You sell it, get out of town, because now guess what? It's their problem. You just sold your idea, your copyright.
Let's tell all our /FaceRoll listeners how to steal our ideas and do it before we do. Oh wait, you just did.
Let's start a Kickstarter and tell all of our listeners to give us $1, so we'd have like $60. So we should probably set the goal pretty
listeners.
low.
We didn't say Facebook likes, so we're talking like $8.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, but if you're on Kickstarter, then that's like somebody's gonna give you money. Be like, oh, that's a neat idea. Yeah, we're gonna make construction paper strings that say different words and names. So like you would
like
just
a
get
banner.
Yeah, we make construction paper banners. It's just a really great idea. Give us money. Somebody will be like, oh, that's pretty neat. I feel like it's like that.
I don't know if that's a $10 million idea right there.
The African princess.
You got to start small.
You know what I'm talking about? Or not African princess.
The African queen.
Yeah. No, what's the scam that they have online that they
Nigerian
get old
prince.
Nigerian prince, whatever. Yeah, that's what we got to do. Do that kind of stuff.
Or we could just
legally
do that on Kickstarter. Be like, for everyone who gives me $1, you will get $1 million.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the project didn't go through, but I have your money already.
You could pyramid scheme the shit out of people. I convince you to give me 10 people to give me $1, right? And then those 10 people convince 10 people to give them $1 on their Kickstarter, and I get 50 cents out of that. So, dude, that's perfect.
It's all donations too.
Yeah, it's exactly. Everybody's just donating money to everybody.
It's how the economy works. Right there.
except I'm at the top, and I get all the money. It's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's legal. That's all that matters.
Tommy, you got anything else? You're studying your notes pretty.
He's been
studiously.
There was a product out there. I told Dougie about it, but there's a company called Kingston that I thought would be at CES. They came out with a 1 terabyte flash drive.
What?
Yeah.
How much is it again? Because I remember that we
1
read it.
terabyte.
Yeah,
It's,
but
no,
do you
they
remember
don't
how
have
much
a
it
price
cost?
for it yet.
No, they didn't have a price
512
out.
meg.
They
or
have
the 512 gig is 1200, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a 512 gig stick out that's 1750.
Yeah.
1750.
So,
I just feel like
expensive.
like having that much storage is already crazy, but to have it that small and in your pocket, it's like, oh shit,
That's
oh shit.
scary.
Have you seen my USB stick? It had a terabyte of everything I've
Well,
ever put on a hard drive ever.
Porn.
I think
That's
yeah,
it.
exactly. I think that's
That was
Kingston's
every
selling
last
point is
file.
that you can put all
That
your
was every
porn
last-
on one
Yeah.
flash drive.
Yeah, and then when you lose it, you can just like share the wealth.
So they
It's like
didn't go
file
to
sharing.
CES. Kingston wasn't there.
It was. I heard the first blurbs about it around the CES, like right when it started, but I'm not sure if they were there.
So what's the difference between like a flash drive and a solid state drive? They both use the same thing, right? Just one is being pulled off the bus, the serial bus. Because you'd have a solid state drive, so it'd be like in your computer.
I think it's just quality of memory because I know flash sticks you can only write to like half as many times as with a SSD.
Really?
If that's what I've heard.
I had no idea that it even had a limit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. SSDs you don't want to read and write to them too often. They'll fail a lot faster than
to know.
spindle drives.
A lot of concerned
Well,
looks.
I use Tiny Shark to stream a lot of music, and then I get a whole bunch on there, transfer it, then delete it, and then start over.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's doing the write every time though. Like I think if you delete something, does it actually? I don't know if it actually changes the state. I think it might actually just like block out like, okay, this is now usable space, and I'll write to it when I get the chance. I'm not positive on that.
Oh, I don't know.
That might be a
Some of that
question.
stuff is like
I'm sure it's just like hard drives. It would just change the index and say this area is available, not write a bunch of zeros to that area.
Gotcha.
Especially with SSDs, where they have a shorter life. Something else I've heard about SSDs is when they do fail. I don't know if you guys have experienced failing hard drives. You'll have bad sectors, and you get a file that you can't get access to, but you still got the rest of the drive. But with SSDs, I've heard when they fail, the entire drive is dead. So you want to.
Aren't the SSDs way more expensive?
oh yeah, they're
Yes.
way more expensive. But
Way.
even your classic like hard disk drives are still insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a 500 gig HDD is still gonna run you like what $100-200.
Oh, I saw 2 terabyte ones on Newegg for like $60,
Whoa,
but they're not
whoa.
SSDs.
Well, that's fine.
What's
Yeah,
the
I know,
RPMs
that's what
on
I'm
them?
saying.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
god, I'm
They're
gonna have to go check
HDDs.
that out. Do they do trade-ins? I got a lot of free software on there for them.
I don't know. I thought about buying it a while back. Do we have anything else CES related? I have a couple little things, nothing crazy, but all right. So let's see. It was the Samsung CEO did the keynote address for whatever 2013 CES. It's an 8-core microprocessor for phones that they just came up with.
Wow.
Uses 2 different 4-core
Yeah,
processors.
2 4-core processors. It's the Exynos 5 Octa.
Is there like a may cause fire warnings on the label?
I was gonna say you can
Holy
also use
shit.
it to heat your
Erupt into
coffee up.
flames.
Just set it on top of the.
Apparently,
it starts
it's also
fires in your
super
fireplace?
energy efficient. It like can shut down like certain cores when it's not using them. But they like previewed it basically playing. I don't even know what game it is, but it's some racing game on here, and they said they basically promise no dropped frames. It's built basically so that they can start doing 3D and stuff in phones, and that it can handle it all with no problem. So
Isn't the 3DS already doing that? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but it also
Yeah,
causes
doing that at
seizures.
that-
So
yeah, but
hopefully-
do you want to be carrying around a phone the size of the 3DS in your pocket?
Yeah, exactly.
Whipping it out.
But anyway, so basically just crazy smartphone processors that they're coming up with.
No, that they don't currently really have
I
a
also
need
had
for.
some.
Yeah, that nothing is using. Yeah.
At
I
all.
also had some pictures of the Linux-powered Steam box.
Oh, indeed.
Dougie's hard right now. If you can't tell.
That was super hard.
Super hard.
And then, so yeah, I'll let Tommy go into that.
I got nothing.
Was
on
it just
never mind.
screen? Was it just? Were they just basically like, "Yep, look, it's real"?
No,
I feel like Valve has kind of done that a lot of times.
Yeah.
They just kind of like do little things, be like, "No, this is real. We've just been working on it for 12 years."
They had an actual detailed blow-up diagram of it. The picture I saw.
Of like the insides, or just
No,
like
case
just
and
like-
everything.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
man, I hope it doesn't fall short of what I'm hoping
I
for.
have no idea how big it's supposed to be because they had nothing to compare to or no measurements. But
Right.
It's just a real close-up shot of it, just panning around. You're like, is it tiny? Is it just ginormous?
it could be the size of a fucking van. I have no idea.
It was actually the size of a small room. They're like, yes, we haven't quite.
You
figured out
need
how
like
to-
a special server room for it, like your basement. You put it in your basement, and it's just your whole basement.
You're gonna need to
Also
have
heat your
3
home.
guys bring it in through the bulkhead. Put it on a solid surface in the basement.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I just have just more information on the Illuma Room. It's the Xbox Illuma Room, apparently.
Is it? I assume they're just trying to do a whole bunch of like crazy shit to make the Kinect more valuable, right?
Yes, it is using the Kinect. Basically, it'll scan the entire radius of your room so it knows where to project your images or whatever, obviously. The system can alter the appearance of a room, trigger apparent motion, and extend a field of view, all in the name of enabling new gameplay experiences. The technology is currently in a proof of concept stage, and it is not clear if Microsoft plans to incorporate the technology into the 360 or its rumored successor. But yeah, there's like a video on there. Maybe we can post that underneath so everybody can watch it. But it's pretty freaking crazy watching bullets fly by you across a room when you're playing Call of Duty, which is what they're showing the video of. It's pretty sick.
So it's like version 1 of the holodeck.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's in part of the video right here. It's basically him walking around, and the screen is the normal view, and then he can see a wireframe of the map all around the room. So he can literally see it turned it into a map of non-shaded textures, basically, so he can see what he's about to go or what room he's about to turn around when he's in the room, even though none of that is on the TV. It's fucking crazy. I'll send you the link right now. And
But doesn't that take away from the whole experience of I actually have to go around the corner and look in the room?
well, I mean,
to make
no,
sure
I mean,
I'm
it's
not
not.
going to get popped.
I don't
in the
know if
face?
it's actually showing there's a dude through this wall. It's just
it'd
saying
be-
there's
a
a wall here.
I think it'd be cool if there was you saw the wall, and if someone was trying to put bullets through the wall, especially when you start getting into physics engines that'll actually what is it? Battlefield uses frostbite. That'd be cool if you're running through and the side of the wall explodes, and you don't just see kind of an explosion. You actually can kind of see it exploding off to the side. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah,
and then it
Battlefield would
shoots
be
dirt in your
amazing.
eye because it's so realistic.
It
You're
literally has a little dirt shooter.
eyes bleeding, coughing up blood.
Did you ever do?
realism
Have you ever been to
mode.
Disney World where they do the 3D movies and then they blow air at you
The
and shit
4D
during
movies?
certain times? So makes you feel like you're there, it is
Sounds
interactive.
awful.
That would be sick. It just blows dirt in your eye when a fucking
Yeah.
wall
When you get
crumbles.
shot, bullet actually hits you.
Yeah.
When the window explodes, real shrapnel of wall comes and takes you out. God.
That'd be amazing.
Be
Not
legit.
really.
Oh, how'd you break your arm?
Duty.
Call of Duty.
And some dude jumped on my face.
Probably be cheaper just to buy tickets to Fallujah or something like that at that rate.
You mean plane tickets? Or you
Yeah.
mean show tickets?
A little bit of both.
Either
Fallujah
way,
the musical?
Either way, I don't think Fallujah's quite what it was. I don't think they're doing a 3-day assault on it anymore. But maybe I'm wrong.
It'd just be just a really boring, shitty time.
It's just
oh, well, this is kind of
sucks.
a lot of
kind of
sand around
desert.
here. It's pretty hot.
yeah, it's really hot and dry here.
Yeah, if you want to
Not much has
experience
gone
more,
on.
go to Russia.
I hope they were building some school over there for the past 3 days. That's about all.
So what's the difference between the 4K and the OLED? I thought the OLED, at least the LED, is just how it's lit because it's just an LCD TV. Is 4K just LCD?
Any idea
What
on
is
that,
it?
Kuren?
Yeah. So 4K is a number of resolutions. So as you know, 1080p is 1080 across by what is it, 9? I forget.
1920
720 but 4K is 1080 times 4. So it's like whatever the math is times 2000. It's like 4000 by 2000. And they came up with a name for it this last year. I think they call it Ultra HD. So it's basically just 4 times the resolution.
And you saw one of those, right?
Yes. And it was amazing. Very clear.
Did it make you feel sick?
No.
Okay.
Just like I was looking at a actual image of.
Like there was
instead
literally
of,
a tiger in your TV. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they playing a game on it, or was it like just a movie?
They were playing a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what game graphics look like on it.
Was it
Well, it'd have to be, the Xbox would have to be putting out
Yeah.
for
Be,
that.
like, upgraded
Yeah,
or
that's the
something.
biggest thing. Is like, you get one now in anticipation of what they'll be able to do. That's why you just wait
Yeah.
till the price drops and
Yeah.
get a last generation
Yeah.
one.
And they're making stuff for it.
Yeah.
Plenty of content.
So, Corinne, the videos they were showing, were they actually like shot in that resolution, or were they like up converted from a normal HD?
No, I'm sure they were shot in that resolution because they have cameras that can do that already. Professional cameras, as well as the new GoPro Hero 3 can film in 4K, but only at 12 frames per second.
Damn.
So it's going to be a lot like HD was when it came in, like very little channels in 4K, and then eventually it'll ramp its way up in like 5
Yeah,
years.
ESPN will be like the first
Yes.
one that does
Yeah.
it too.
Gotcha.
They always
Whereas
seem to be
OLED is
first.
just a different type of LED. It's a much more vibrant LED.
Gotcha.
Were
they talking,
say organic?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were they talking price at all? Because I know we had done a little bit of price checking on the 4K TVs, and it was pretty crazy. Or did they not talk about that at CES?
I didn't see any price mentions. I'm sure they don't want to say.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah,
Scare people
just
off.
in case.
I think the one we looked at was like 50 something inches, and it was like $25,000 or something.
That's
like that.
crazy.
You can buy this new TV. You just have to take out another loan on your house.
It makes no sense.
a third mortgage
We need that fourth.
because the
mortgage.
second one won't work.
We need that third one to know that you're serious.
It's absolutely crazy. I just can't see who's going to be buying it right now, or if it's just.
I'm sure there's rich bastards
Yeah.
out there.
Kobe
Yeah,
has 4.
just Kobe.
No,
Just Kobe.
Yeah, just Kobe 4 times
Yeah.
and one for his bathroom.
He took the 4K TVs and he put them on 4, so now it's a 16K.
Perfect.
Dude, that's the kind of shit I would be doing if I made that much money.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous crap.
Yeah.
Just why'd you buy all these TVs? Well, I wanted to put them all together so I could have my entire house walls just be the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I just want a 4K wall TV, please.
I put up all the TVs lining this hallway and all these cameras, so I'm always walking slightly behind myself in the TV. Just because.
Is it a possibility now that they have this technology to make like a 4K projector?
I don't.
Just
I think,
massive.
as far as I know, projectors are usually pretty behind the curve.
Yeah.
What about like the
Actually,
IMAX projector though? Because that shit's probably better than 4K, isn't it?
No.
No, or is that like
No,
4K like
there's-
crazy?
No. It's probably different.
Yeah.
Doesn't IMAX use like 6 or 7 or 8 projectors to get the image on there?
I think I'm not
They all
sure.
like work together or something.
That sounds right, but I have no idea.
I can't imagine it's just one. That's a pretty.
Is
I feel like
IMAX
I've had
even,
these-
I don't even know if IMAX is digital. IMAX is like a huge. Like, have you ever seen an IMAX film print?
No.
No.
Fucking huge.
Fucking huge.
Fucking huge.
What do you mean? It's huge.
Like,
What's
like normally, like you've got.
all right, film major, just break it down retard style.
Right, so normally you've got film. Nobody can see this because it's
It's like an inch
I can
or
see
so
it.
wide.
Use
That's
your
all that
measurements
matters.
Normal
like a big
film is
boy.
like an inch wide.
Yeah,
Look, the users can
film is
can
about
deal.
this.
Yeah.
IMAX film is like you can just
Looks
like
like 3 or
roll
4
through the
inches.
film print and just look at what's going on. Like you don't have to like look through the light. It's like
They should make
holy
IMAX
shit.
handhelds that you just like have the film rolled up. It just runs through the screen. You can
Yeah,
just
kind of
watch
like those
that.
orange viewfinders.
Yeah.
Except they'd be these giant like tire-sized wheels that you have to hook up to these binoculars and like turn it.
Any hipsters
And then the
listening to
3D
our show right now are
ones, it's like
pumped.
they're on
They're
both sides.
Yes.
Yes, I can't wait. So, Corinne, overall, would you say you were happy with CES, or was it a disappointment? Or
I was happy with it. It was still crowded. I mean, there was like 120,000 people. It's everyone was just excited. It was just crazy fun. It's not like the good old days where they would throw out T-shirts into the crowd and
It's crazy.
and had
Yeah.
yeah. It's more business to business, but it's still high energy and a lot of fun. I recommend it for anyone. The best part is it's free if you register early enough.
Indeed.
We got to get on that for next year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Vegas.
So, what would you name is your best in show? What were you most excited about?
I would say Samsung. I like that they had the curved displays. They were showing the bendable displays
Didn't even know about that.
as well as the OLEDs.
Do you want to give a Rhapsody plug?
Sure. Rhapsody rocks, literally. So Rhapsody is an online music subscription service that I work for, and we sell music. All the music you can listen to for $10 a month.
Now, do you buy it and download files, or is it a streaming service?
No, it's a streaming service. You can listen to songs offline, so you could download the songs, and they last as long as you are paying your $10 a month. And you have, I think we have 13 million songs now. So,
So a few.
So, but what about compared to iTunes? Is iTunes still the leader in the online music acquisition for the individual?
What are the prices now? Was it
Well, I
like
mean, I think
$1.99
iTunes is all individual. You pay $1 for each track or whatever it is. But I meant just in terms of like selection. I didn't know where iTunes stood versus Rhapsody versus Spotify versus Grooveshark versus any of the other ones in terms of the available to listen to.
Rhapsody's been in the game a while, right?
yeah, Rhapsody's been around for like 14 or 15 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we sell songs, so you could buy the MP3 outright. We have streaming downloads. You could download songs and listen to them offline. We have radio. So we have like 3 different. I think there's a 4th way we do business or have a service. So we have it all. Whereas we have like iTunes, like you were saying. They sell the MP3s, and they're also working on cloud syncing, which is very similar to the streaming. Mm-hmm. And then there's Spotify and RDO and Pandora, which are all radio mostly, and that they compete with a third of what we offer.
Wow, really? Spotify's only got like a third of. What
Well, I mean, of the 3 ways that you can get music.
Right.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
Yeah. So they compete with our radio business.
Was Rhapsody packaged with Real Player at some point, or am I imagining that?
No, Real Networks bought Rhapsody back in, I think, 2000 or 2001, and they were Listen.com at the time.
Gotcha.
And they basically owned Rhapsody and supported them for several years, and then they sold off the controlling interest about 3 years ago, and now we're our own company. Real owns part of us, as does Viacom, I think, and a few other investors. But we're our own company. We can make our own choices now, which has allowed us to go international and expand a lot in the last 3 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Very nice.
All right, awesome. So really appreciate you being here and taking time out of your day to humor us. Do what we like to do.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for
All right.
coming.
Well, we'll catch you later, Kuren, and you two users. See you next week.
Yeah,
Adios.
thanks again, Corinne.
Cheers.